Everyone, it's Addy, and today I've got set number 71837, Ninjago City Workshops from the LEGO Ninjago theme. This set retails for $399 on LEGO.com here in Australia and has 3,244 pieces. It's pretty impressive. It's got a great selection of figures, I would say, at least some pretty iconic ones. But the standout for me is Casual Harumi. She looks really, really cool. I've always wanted that figure, and for ages I think I just gave up for a point because I think they would have retired the hairpiece or something by now, but it was definitely a surprise when the images were shown. It's got a few other standouts like Twitchy Tim and Dorama. His puppet Dr. Loro, which is pretty interesting. And it's got a pretty iconic look. Like all the other ones, they've got like one kind of feature that defines them: the city for like being the first of its kind, the docks for like the dock part, gardens for like the large trees, and then the markets for just being such a flatter space. It was in the market part in the back, you get what I mean. This one's definitely got the crane at the top to define it for being more of a industrial kind of part of the city. It's got the Mech, the more rustic and mechanical parts of the design at the bottom, and it's definitely reminding me of the dock set. That was more of a smaller scale Ninjago City set. I believe if this was on sale back then, this would be around $350, because I believe all the city sets got about a $50 increase. It used to be $500 instead of $550. It's worth $350 instead of $400, practically rounded up. But it's pretty cool. It's only normal, but I'm pretty excited to open this one up. So I'll see you in a second when it's all built up. And here it finally is. This is Ninjago City Workshops all built up, and I have to say, I am pleasantly surprised. I didn't have really too many expectations going into this one. The garden, say, has a pretty good design with foliage included everywhere, the branches scattered, the trees growing out of a roof, and the center of the build. The markets have obviously got the market stalls in the back, and like the wide open space, and the docks obviously has a dock. The Ninjago City was probably the most generic one, with just obviously being the first of its kind, and this one definitely gives off the workshop vibes. It's got the crane up top, kind of workshop space with a sliding door at the front, and also a cool kind of warehouse modular, which I wasn't really expecting, but I will show you everything in closer detail right now. Yeah, overall, this set is generally pretty beautiful. It feels really alive with all the minifigures included. Gives some really cool exclusive ones for ones we've been wanting for ages. But the design is just quite beautiful. Kind of taken away because it wasn't what I was expecting, but it's good. But I'll take all the minifigures out for a sec so I can show you everything in detail. I'll start off by showing you the bottom half of the set. And this is where most of the industrial workshops part is kind of integrated. So it's got this cool platform at the bottom. You can also remove this mech, which I think fills the space nicely, but without it you can see it's got the platform. It's got a system to kind of move the mech back and forth so it's more accessible. Not too sure what the words I wanted to use there. Anyway, so it's also got a workshop with a rolling shutter at the front, that side. It's got a cool shop over here. Actually, not shop, it's a little sushi place. And this set is actually really, really interesting because they fully integrate the new system. In the markets, they started taking a different direction, and so you could slide out most of the little apartments at the bottom, and so it's more accessible. So you don't have to like deconstruct the whole thing. But yeah, it makes it fun. Obviously, if you don't have them all connected, because you can slide them out, but yeah, it still kind of has the same problem if they're all together, because then you can't slide them out. It does make this set feel very different compared to the others, because the markets still had one or two that were only accessible from the, like, obviously previous installment above. But yeah, the bottom half of this place can slide out. And on the other side, you also have the 3 levels that can obviously been slidden out, or there's like a wall you just put up, and so it's really pretty simple. Enough about that though. It's got some cool water detailing at the bottom with some kind of foliage. It's also got a few cool things at here. So it's gotten a crate with some of the pieces to actually upgrade the mech. More about that later. But if not, it's got a cool, that's coming apart, cool walkway connecting both those levels. And in here, the workshop part, there's a few more parts of the mech. The noodle place is pretty cool. It's got some seats over here, a bowl with some noodles inside, some chopsticks, a stove, and some soy sauce or ingredients up top. Assuming that's what it is. It's got... Then when you spin it over to the side, this allows you to access the bottom of the garage. It's got another piece of a mech on the side. It's got a cool sticker with details, and got some parts. And if you turn this piece, it will actually open the shutter for the front. And so I'll spin it around to the other side, but that looks really, really, really clean, and I do love that part so much. It's got more, obviously, water tiling at the front. It's built on the water, basically. Got some more foliage on the side, a cool frog. There's always a lot of uses for that part. And over here, it's got some interesting techniques to build the tiles on the roof. They're actually using some old catapult pieces, and yeah, that's pretty interesting. It's got a lamp on this side, a cool build for the new advertisement. And yeah, it's pretty cool, this lower half. And on to the next level. It's got the cool, in my opinion, very interesting build. So over here, it's not necessarily a shop, but it's actually like a warehouse, which I find really, really cool. And I saw some people have some different takes on it and thinking it was not like the best use of space, but I really, really do like it. It does make the space feel a bit more empty, but it's just something so unique. And if I was a kid, honestly, that would be probably like the most boring part, but it interests me the most because it's just so cool being able to like place your figures inside. There's a ladder to access the top parts and shelves, and it just it's so simple, but somehow it works. And I don't know. Yeah, for some parts for Mech stored inside there. There's also a pretty cool building some techniques in here. So they've used like the front and back of the books to create the shutters and obviously the windowsill, and that was really cool. So those parts are like the book covers, but it just works so well on these. And yeah, all these Ninjago City sets always manage to find the most interesting parts to use for like very intricate details, and it's just so fascinating. On this side, I believe, is an apartment to someone. There's a few hints on who it could belong to, but we've got some shurikens, a pretty cool mat, an interesting build. I would say a bonsai tree at the headrest, and also a bed. But I also do love those sticker detailings for those panel pieces. They're pretty interesting. And yeah, if you were to turn this a bit more, inside you can see there's, it is, I know who that belongs to now. There's a picture of Zane and Dr. Julian. So I believe this is his retreat away from the ninja's headquarters. But yeah, that's, yeah, really cool. I do love those sticker details, and I do love the designs on the tiles there as well. Moving up, you can see that they've got some pretty cool designs for the stairs in the set. They're more kind of similar to the dock stairs, whereas they used very large stair pieces, and there's obviously the climb up. I just knocked something over. But yeah, so obviously those start kind of halfway to match up with the other city sets, so if you only do have this one, there isn't really a way for your minifigures to get up, actually. Yeah, but I always imagine mine like parkouring above the buildings and everything. But yeah, in this set it doesn't really work. But yeah, obviously to the other ones it works perfectly. It's got some pretty cool usage for parts to fill in, like the rails, and so they've got the surfboard up here, the fish, and they've, like in all the other ones, got some tiles with stickers over here. But yeah, I always love seeing the different kind of pieces they use to fill up that space because it's pretty consistent. Although this set doesn't actually include any lanterns, which is very different. The last two had blue ones in the first three. Oh, but the previous two had orange. But yeah, in this one they don't actually have any. So that is something I did just realize. But yeah, that's not too obviously obvious if you only have this one. And up top we've got the two last buildings. So there's not too many in this set, but obviously it does feel pretty substantial, which is the thing you want. So over here they've got some kind of, I would say, some merch shop. It's got a pretty cool, I'm actually not too sure what the orange one is, but I do know they've got some pretty interesting builds. If I can get this piece out. So in here there's actually a mini model of Cole's Titan Mech, and that's pretty cool. It's got some, I would believe, some obviously, I wouldn't say Lego sets, but they've got obviously some kind of merch of Titan Mechs in here. So they've got the Titan Mech, the Lord Titan Mech, they've got the Samurai X Mech, and yeah, Jay's one, and just some cool merch and jars on the top, and yeah, some accessories. So yeah, I'm actually not too sure what to call this one, but I do have to say I really do like the details on the edge of the roof, how it's got the pretty cool transparent pieces behind the railing piece, and it shows off like a really cool kind of light. But yeah, it feels very retro, and I do love the colors in between these pieces. That's cool. And over here we've got another one, and this one has an advertisement for some kind of movie or something in the actual world, but I believe that's a reference to the old ninja theme, because yeah, It's definitely not our ninjas, but they've got the cool samurai pieces and the very nostalgic, I would say, plain suits before Ninjago. And in here, if you take this piece out, you can see that it's got a pretty cool studio. Not too sure what to call this one actually, but it looks interesting. It's got a poster of Dorama's puppet. Got some pretty cool and fun builds for drawers, and yeah, those ones always never cease to amaze me. And yeah, they've, like in the Ninjago dock set for the tea shop, they've got some interesting jars in between the window pieces that attach to the back, and yeah, I always find those pretty cool. It almost looks like kind of Dorama's place. Got some cards on the, obviously, turning rack right here, and they've got a record player. But yeah, a mat as well, but not too sure. But yeah, that definitely does look like a fun part. And yeah, that's pretty much everything to cover on that level. They've got a few stickers over here. One with the lava tides from the Dragon's Rising show over here. And another sticker showing a few of the other Ninjago sets. Last space is just really the two rooftops, and although they're rooftops, they've got a fair bit to them. So over here, they've got an advertisement to some kind of show. I haven't deciphered the numbers and letters in this set in the Ninjago language, but I could come around to doing it in a future video, but unfortunately today I have not. But it's got a pretty cool advertisement with a pole at the back to attach it to, and that also does have another purpose, and I'll show you that very soon. It's got some interesting techniques here as well. They've used some black chair pieces to get the tiles. Yeah, and that gives some pretty cool shaping. Over here, it's got some kind of, I would say, store head with store banner, store advertisement for whatever shop this is. Not too sure. Didn't do my research there, but it does look pretty cool. I love the hands, the hand with the fingers in the specific order it was obviously made. I'm not too sure what that means, but it looks pretty cool. Anyway, they've got some more obviously interesting techniques here, using the arches sideways to get the tiling done here. And they've also got a pretty cool and neat crane build up top. It looks pretty cool. And I thought of the workshops, I just kind of saw that part of the set immediately, and yeah, that's what kind of gave me the, oh, I see what it's going to be. But yeah, it's like the last thing you build, and good reason, it's at the very top. But if you also, let me figure that out. If you turn this piece over here, you can actually lower the crane, and it's pretty satisfying. It doesn't go all the way down, but I would say it goes about halfway. So, yeah, not that you'd expect it to, because that's a fair bit to go. But I'll see how low. Yeah, that's about as low as you can get it. And, yeah, I mean, I think it looks pretty substantial, and it does look impressive like that. But, yes, you can also turn this grey piece over here in the middle. And that allows you to increase the, I would say, the steepness of the crane. So yeah, it obviously can make it go higher, lower, and this part allows, what is it? Yeah, that piece. That part allows you to swing the crane from side to side, and it's almost giving the skybound scene with the crane at the docks. I do love that part. This set is called the Workshops, and in the workshop you kind of need something to work on, and so this set includes a mech. This is obviously the base form, but there is some potential, and it does look pretty rough looking like this, but yes, in this set there is lots of pieces scattered around to upgrade it, and I'll show you in a second everything put together. I won't show you the location of everything, but it's pretty yeah, straightforward. There's just some I would show you quickly in a sec in short. So there's just a few pieces with attachments on. Obviously in the lower sections towards the workshop. There's some in the warehouse, got some obviously parts in a crate, got those larger pieces hanging there, and then you've also got a crate with the smaller ones. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward, and I'll show you in a sec everything attached to this mech. And taking a look at Mech, it is a very interesting color scheme. There's not, I would say, particularly many builds with teal and orangish yellow color, but this one just, again, works for me. So it's got the very, I would say, industrial design with the pretty much just straight black and grey base, which works perfectly in my eyes because then the bright colors pop on top. And yeah, I think just the shaping's so snug, like especially near the cockpit, just that slope piece, black one, just it just works. And I keep on saying that, but it just does. But yeah, it's not anything like revolutionary, but I would say this is kind of along the lines of the quality that we got in the Empress versus Dragon set a few years back. But yeah, it's just really possible. It's got the great detail, nothing but good things to say for me. The only other side build in this set really is Dorama's puppet, and I really do love the inclusion, and I think it is really fun, and a really cool reference since it obviously is to go with another minifigure in the set, which I'm sure you can guess now. But it doesn't quite work for me, and yeah, obviously it's a very fun inclusion, and it really doesn't include many pieces like on top of everything else, so it's not going to drive up the price or anything, but it is a bit unfortunate this is the only version we've got of that thing because it is pretty cool in the show. And yes, there's a Dorama minifigure in the set, but I put him next to a puppet so you can see the size. It's not a bit, it's very undersized, but honestly, it's just a fun inclusion for the set, and I do like that. I do hope that we do see a larger puppet in the future because I feel like that could be a pretty fun, I would say, smaller scale set. But yeah, for what we've got, it's obviously amazing. I just kind of wish this is the only thing we get regarding the puppet because they could definitely do it better, a bit more larger, I would say. But yeah, honestly, just a fun inclusion, and it's the only thing that kind of is like really obvious for me. Everything else is just kind of subtle. But yeah, this is the most, I would say, alarming difference in my eyes in this set. And since I just showed him, I'll show him off first. This is the first LEGO Dorama minifigure, and I think he's done pretty good. It does look pretty different compared to the show. In the show, he tends to have a dark purple attire, but that's not really shown. And it does obviously have a more sparkly look. It's more textured. This one is pretty flat. And yeah, I just wish they were able to give him some kind of texture, whether it be a bit of creases with the printing or a cool sparkle effect, but it just looks a bit flat. Like, personally, I can obviously tell who he's supposed to be, but it can be done better. But for what we've got, I think it's good enough. But yeah, I do, like, rather have something than nothing. So, he is good in my eyes. So, we've got a pretty generic draconian warrior in a very casual attire. They've dropped the armor and intricate menacing details on the torso and just got a casual sweater. So it's not bad, pretty cool, I would say generic torso print and leg print, not print, piece, and a cool camera. I do like that, and he's just got a mohawk like some of the minifigures, but yeah, nothing too much to say, but yeah, nothing too bad to say about him, not bad. And here's the next guy. I think he'd be in charge of a noodle shop with, I would say accessory. I want to say knife, but I'm not too sure if that's correct. But he does have a pretty cool torso, generic looking, plain legs, but also a neat black buzz for the haircut. So, hairpiece. So, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Here's the next minifigure. She's a pretty cool looking construction worker with the neon vest, the legs with some pockets, and I want to say knee pads, but I don't believe that's correct. But yeah, cool prints all around. She's got the pretty generic looking LEGO City construction hat with the dual mold hair part included. So yeah, pretty cool part. I want to say it's some kind of remote or phone, but yeah,
definitely not phone. Probably some remote to activate machinery in the set. But yeah, pretty cool inclusion. And she does, I would say, fit the vibe of this set, especially, well, with her attire. And here is her alternate face paint, and it's pretty cool. I think, yeah, it's always appreciated because you can't really go too wrong. It just gives more play and more freedom for people who do stop motions or anything like that. So yeah, I think a fun inclusion. And here is Twitchy Tim. It's been way too long. It's definitely been 2, 3, 4-ish years. I can't remember how long it's been since the Island release, but yeah, it's been a while. And this set's been pretty good with bringing back minifigures that we wouldn't think would see the light of day for ages, because yeah, we've got Harumi from the first show, Twitchy Tim from the previous one, and then Dorama and another one in a sec I'll show you. But yeah, this guy, he looks slightly different to the show from my memory, but maybe that's just me. But if not, no, I might just be losing it right now. But yeah, the torso looks pretty, I would say, accurate with the, I would say, fur jacket works for me, the badges on the front, pockets, and pretty plain leg piece. But yeah, obviously iconic grey hair he has, and very fun face print. I think he has, yeah, he also has the other side, which definitely gives Twitchy Tim. But yeah, I think he's a pretty decent one. Here she is, Casual Harumi. This is insane. I cannot believe we've got a figure, yeah, from the show so long ago just now. Especially with, I would say, the demand, because I think at this point everyone gave up hope, because they stopped doing Bricktober packs, which is how we got the detailed throwback figures. But yeah, I cannot believe it took this long, but I am so happy we got her. But yeah, she's about the minifigure itself. It's got a pretty plain, flat, like plain green, like leg piece, but it's got a nice print for the torso. She's also got the pretty cool hood piece, I think, from the LEGO Ninjago movie with a Lloyd minifigure and the polybag. She's also got a pretty standard looking face, although I do think it's new. I'm not too sure if I've seen it before. And she does have the same hairpiece that she had in the show, which is pretty interesting because I thought they would have retired that hairpiece by now, because I can't think of too many figures that have kept that part in production. But yeah, honestly, it is amazing. I cannot believe we've got her. And yeah, when I saw her, I kind of was going to pick up the set. So look, yeah, I'm just happy we got her. She is such a cool minifigure, and yeah, I'm probably glazing her, but seriously, it's not bad. It's pretty good. I forgot to show you her alternate face print, but yeah, I think this is a pretty good one. It screams Harumi all around. Yeah, again, I love this minifigure so much. The other one, of course, was Duck LaRue. So she's an interesting one because I don't think she's a pretty popular as such compared to the others, but she's definitely a fun inclusion. And for her presence in the show, it was definitely surprising we haven't gotten her before this. But yeah, I think this was definitely a good choice. I love her design. It just works. Again, it works. The tablet's a pretty cool piece on the book cover, and it's got a sticker on top. But yeah, it works. It's got the detailing continuing on the back of the torso, and I think this one could have used some printing on the legs just so the lab coat doesn't cut off completely. But yeah, it looks more like a suit instead of a lab coat, I would say. But yeah, it still works, and I do love her face print with the goggles and hair. I think she might have, yeah, she does also have a alternate face print, and I think that works for her pretty good as well. And this is one of the generic, I would say, civilians in the set. So yeah, she's got actually some nice simple detailing on the leg piece with some pockets. She's got a pretty neat torso with believe jacket, some, yeah, interesting colors, pink, orange, yellow, and a nice beanie with blonde ish hair, I would say. So yeah, not too bad, not much, but yeah, nothing bad as well. Here's another minifigure, Pixel, and I think she just works so good. It gives people another choice to budget with their sets to get every minifigure, and although this is not the set you want to budget with, but you get the point. Just another way to get her, and I think she does have a pretty cool design. She's came before in sets, so I won't show you everything, but she also does have a nice alternate face print. So yeah, I think she's a fun inclusion. I believe this is our last minifigure, Zane. So he's, I believe, not exclusive because I think his outfit has appeared in one set before this. I'm not too sure. Anyhow, I don't think it's new, but he's got some interesting printing on the legs and torso. They're different to what he normally gets, but he's also got scissors as an accessory, and I don't quite remember what that could be for. Actually, in his apartment, I believe he had a bonsai tree, so he could be tending his plant. So yeah, that's actually a pretty cool detail. I think that's gonna be my guess. Yeah, it's pretty fun, actually. Yeah, I like it. I never really tend to show off the packaging of a set, but I think with these ones it's always kind of fun to include because it is different from smaller sets. But this set is pretty different compared to the other city sets because it's trying a different kind of box. So these ones, yeah, just open by lifting it up, so you don't have to dig around in there to try and find everything inside. So it is pretty fun. You just have to cut the tires on the sides of a box still, so it's still kind of the same requirements, but it's just a different way to open the box. And I think it feels almost more premium because you can, I don't know, I just kind of like the experience. And I'm not too sure about the reasoning behind this, but I found it was refreshing and it definitely did make it more enjoyable for me. And like all larger LEGO sets, to avoid things getting mixed up or squashed, they kind of separate the bags in some parts. So this one does have a larger box you can fit inside the box. So you can, separate the pieces and bags. So yeah, that's always fun. I always knew as a kid if I had one of these boxes in the box, it was going to be a very long build. And I don't know. I just got excited when I found those ones inside. Again, I don't know what it did, but it just worked. I figured out what the purpose was. It was so you can fold up these boxes. Ingenious. I really do like that. But yeah, this set, I would say almost felt a bit bigger for what it was. I would say the boxes, the packaging, it was a lot, and also it was fairly complex, and I did get caught up on a few parts, specifically the workshop parts, and I think you could have seen me struggle with the crane and attaching the thread. It's always a pain. It did not get easier today. I mean, yeah, growing up doesn't make that part any more fun, trust me. Yeah, from the box, the building experience and everything, it does feel like a premium product. And a few years back, I believe this one would have retailed for 350 Australian dollars, what the docs was, but this one was about $50 increase. So it was inevitable, and I really do think it is good value money. If you do love the Ninjago City sets, if you do love premium LEGO products, if you do love a nice display piece, if you do love, obviously if you're a kid and you don't have the money to buy a lot of big things, I think this is just a personal choice. But for most people, this is a very decent option for a large LEGO set. Man, it's a lot of money, but I mean, I spent my money myself, and I'm not that old, so I know what to spend and what not to spend. So yeah, in my opinion, I think it was good value, but it just depends what you want and what you're willing to spend and what you kind of expect in return. But yeah. And I think that's really everything I have to show for the set. The minifigures are pretty good. I think the only thing I could say is I wish they included more, because I feel like the selection is quite small compared to the other sets.
but again, I can't really remember the specifics of the other ones, and it does fill up the build and it makes it feel alive, so I think, yeah, it at least does its job. And about half of them are pretty, I would say, desired minifigures and exclusive ones, because I don't believe most of those will be coming back in other ones, because there wouldn't be a situation that it wouldn't need to. Like always, the packaging, the stickers, the instructions, it's all kind of the same. But yeah, and I would say for $399.99 Australian dollars on LEGO.com, it's not bad. I bought mine in store, and normally it lasts around a 1 year in store, and then after it's online. But same price, and yeah, I think it's a really good set, and it just depends what you're looking for. But yeah, I think the minifigures kind of just really make it better value for me. So I think it just depends what you're after. The minifigures, the build, the connection, the modular building part, just a display piece. I do believe I might have missed a few references, a few stickers, and maybe 1 or 2 details in the set. So if I did, please let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps me out a lot. That's everything I have to say in this week's video, so I'll see you guys in the next one. See you then.